And that episode of Kojak replaced the advertised programme Midweek Sports Special, which can now be seen tomorrow night, featuring, of course, Nottingham Forest versus Crystal Palace, and that's at 11:45. Meanwhile, here on Halloween Through the Night with George and Arthur, we're moving on to our Valiant Years movie in just a moment, which is Murphy's War, an unusual war adventure, really, with Peter O'Toole in the title role as the sole survivor of a U-boat attack. He decides to wage a one-man battle against a submarine in the exotic location of Venezuela. Great colour photography, directed by Peter Yates, and Murphy's War follows in just a moment.
For certain individuals, there's only one way to go. The Ibiza from SEAT.
Go your own way.
Meticulous German engineering.
Go your own way.
Extra high-tech spec. All from £5,099. The Ibiza. Go your own way.
Go your own way.
SEAT. Volkswagen Group.
Hello? No, this is 4724. That's quite all right.
Me is my favourite weekly read. It understands my every need. I want sparkling fashions that are bonfire bright. I want a new hair colour tonight. I want DIY I can actually do, and stars and news. Features too. Tip strips, pull-outs and a pattern free. And all for only 40p. Me, it's all for you.
Unless you're one of those people who enjoy doing things the hard way, make it easy on yourself. Sign a thing called a direct debit. You see, when the new community charge, the poll tax, starts next April, a direct debit means that your bank or building society can handle all the payments for you. And you can pay lots of other bills this way too. So look out for the special form from your local authority, and with one signature, let direct debit make the community charge a whole lot easier.
Cracker! Cracker! Hang about. It's a Jacobs. Are you sure? Yeah. I haven't seen those kibbled markings before. Kibbled wheat, kibbled rye. Barley flakes? Mm-hmm. Bran? And a distinctive golden colouring. Anything on its back? No. It's a Jacob's Choice Grain!
A cracker's not plain if it's Jacob's Choice Grain.
Oh, it's gone. There's another one!
What you're listening to is the business language of the future from British Telecom. A language that enables your customers to picture your product instantly. That lets you receive vital data in seconds. After all, the faster your company receives information, the quicker you can profit from it. For your action pack, call us free on 0800 800 800. British Telecom. It's you we answer to.
The makers of you-know-what invite you to spend a quiet night in with the exceedingly sophisticated you-know-who. The terribly suave Michael Palin, debonair Kevin Kline, and the delightfully demure Jamie Lee Curtis. Hire the video of A Fish Called Wanda and we'll pay the rental. Then enjoy a refreshing straight Schweppes tonic, and you could win rocks worth a cool £50,000.
This week's movie in the Valiant Years series stars Peter O'Toole as a man with a mission: sink the U-boat in Murphy's War. Well, not exactly a frightening film unless you happen to be in the submarine for our Halloween night, but that was our Valiant Years movie, and we'll have another of those, of course, next week. We are now, of course, into Nighttime USA, featuring the best of American programming, as we do every Tuesday here on Anglia Through the Night. And coming up in a moment, we'll check out the new film releases, and after that, we have America's Top 10. Casey Kasem counting down those top-selling records on the other side of the Atlantic. And at 3:30, more trouble for the coach. The American football team with more than its fair share of headaches. This week, in fact, Luther creates a few problems for the coach when he actually backs an opposing team. Talking of football, we go on to American college football at 4 o'clock, and it's an all-Texas game this week. Texas Tech take on the Aggies. That's Texas A&M. That's later on. Stand by now for the news.
To be clear, 7-Up. Oh, we do like to eat beside the seaside.
Oh, we do like to eat beside the sea.
Yes, we do like the shapes, cause they're fun, fun, fun.
New Bird's Eye Seasiders with prime cotton potato.
Everyone, one. Look, a boat trip. I'm fishing. Starfish. I'm so wild.
Beside the seaside, beside the sea. New Seasiders cotton potato shapes. I only choose the best for the captain's table.
Do you remember when this was a #1 hit?
In the year 2525.
And where were you when everyone danced to this? And here's one that will really take you back. Now, Teledisc presents Our Generation. 50 all-original hits in one extra special collection. Our Generation, with all those fabulous fun hits. Our Generation, with the really classic hits. And the great ballads. Plus the Animals. Jerry and the Pacemakers. The Walker Brothers. The Beach Boys. The Monkees.
Saw her face. Now I'm a
The hits go on and on. Our Generation. This exclusive collection is brought together on 4 individual albums or 3 long-playing cassettes for only $19.99, or on 3 compact discs for $24.99. However, Our Generation is not available in any shops, but here are details of how you can get your copy. Simply call us now on 01 569 8200. That's 01 569 8200. Or send your cheque or postal order made payable to Teledisc, Department Anglia, Bellman Direct, Harrington Dock, Liverpool X, L70 1AX. And remember, Our Generation is not available in any shops.
Next time you tire of the concrete jungle, why not head for the real thing? Yes, even here, your trusty Barclay card is at home. Make sure you pack one if you're taking a walk on the wild side.
Take a Barclay card. Over 6 million places do.
You're watching Anglia and Nighttime USA with the news from ITN.
Nigel Lawson spoke in the Commons last night about his resignation as Chancellor. He said the article on the European monetary system by the Prime Minister's economics advisor Sir Alan Walters, who also quit, had been the tip of a singularly ill-concealed iceberg. He said Britain should join the EMS as soon as possible, and he made his first public criticism of Mrs. Thatcher's style of government.
The Prime Minister of the day must appoint ministers that he or she trusts and then leave them to carry out the policy. When differences of view emerge, they should be resolved privately and, whenever appropriate, collectively.
The government had a majority of 104 on the Labour motion condemning confusion and disarray in government economic policy. The new Chancellor, John Major, said Britain would join the European monetary system, which is what led to the row, when conditions were right, and would do so in good faith. President Bush and President Gorbachev are to meet for informal talks on board Soviet and American warships in the Mediterranean on December the 2nd and 3rd. Their first meeting as presidents was to have been a full summit in the spring.
I'll tell you what changed my mind on it was consultation with our allies. The rapidity of change in Eastern Europe, and this concept that I just didn't want to, in this time of dynamic change, miss something.
In Northern Ireland, a mob of at least 50 people hurled petrol bombs at Coal Police Station in County Tyrone. Police fired plastic bullets to try to disperse them. The violence lasted about 3 hours. There were no arrests. West Germany is to place strict controls on British beef imports because of the so-called mad cow disease, BSE, in Britain. It's demanding certificates to show that any beef shipped to Germany comes from unaffected herds. The Ministry of Agriculture said they didn't feel the German action was justified and they want talks. There are about 130 cases of BSE a week in Britain. That's all for now. More news later.
And now, Nighttime USA, an hour of American entertainment. In half an hour, we count down the American top 10. But now, the top box office successes stateside in cinema attractions.
Welcome to Cinema Attractions. Hi, I'm Steve March. We've got a real exciting show lined up for you this.
What do you call that? It's rock and roll.
Oh, sorry. Yes, it's rock and roll. Rocking on through the night here on Anglia's Halloween night. And we'll have the cinema attractions back for you next week at the usual time here on Nighttime USA. Coming up in a moment, we'll also be looking at America's top 10. And talking about top 10 videos tomorrow night, another of our video competitions and the results of the last competition. That's tomorrow. Stand by for Casey Kasem next.
Cracker! Cracker! Hang about. It's a Jacobs. Are you sure? Yeah. I haven't seen those kibble markings before.
Kibbled wheat, kibbled rye.
Barley flakes? Mm-hmm. Bran?
And a distinctive golden colouring.
Anything on its back? No. It's a Jacob's Choice Grain!
A cracker's not plain if it's Jacob's Choice Grain.
Oh, it's gone. There's another one.
They're going to serve in my Navy.
Let's sail away!
And when each busy day is done, they're striped, cod filleted, golden crumb, only birds. I know how they like their fish fingers to be. They make some fish fingers look a right motley crew.
And the captain sail for tea.
I only choose the best for the captain's table.
Now, if you think I look a little colourful this evening, you ain't seen nothing until you've seen Casey Kasem's sweater as we count down, once again, America's Top 10.
Last week, Janet Jackson made it 4 weeks in a row at the top with Miss You Much. Will she begin her second month at #1 this week? Or will Tears for Fears flower at the top with Sowing the Seeds of Love? We'll also talk to Roxette and Paula Abdul.
Hi, I'm Paula Abdul, and it's not The Way You Love Me, it's America's Top 10.
Now, here's our host, Casey Kasem.
Thank you, Charlie, and hello again, everybody. Welcome to America's Top 10. Last week, Janet Jackson topped the chart.